We begin this hour with COVID-19 and an Omicron surge that's proving absolutely relentless. Take a look at this. We aren't even 3 weeks into 2022. Already, we have recorded a third of all the COVID cases we saw in 2021. There have been more than 11 million COVID infections so far this year.
Now, the spike in cases is still leaving hospitals overwhelmed. Some emergency rooms are actually turning away ambulances. Many hospitals are canceling elective surgeries. Hospital workers who've gone toe-to-toe with the pandemic are reporting severe burnout.
A lot of COVID news to get to this hour. We'll talk schools in just a moment. But first, let's begin with NBC News correspondent Heidi Presbella. She's at the University of Maryland Laurel Medical Center. Hey, Heidi, give us a sense of what doctors and nurses are dealing with there.
It's really, Vicki, just a supply issue. They've got less staff. People are quarantined. They are sick, testing positive. More patients, both COVID patients and patients who may have delayed care due to the COVID pandemic. And then there's a third category of people who are flooding ERs just to get tested, with Omicron really peaking in this area. So what have they done here? Well, first of all, this facility behind me, the Laurel Medical Center, they've devoted 3 floors here only to COVID patients. It's essentially an overflow area from the main hospital here in Laurel. And secondly, they created a drive-through testing center here, bringing in the National Guard to help administer testing. So if you show up at the ER just seeking a test, nope, please go through the drive-through. And that was created about a week ago here, guys.
Yeah, Heidi, you're talking about that. Hospitals seeing not just an influx of people who are sick, but just folks going to the ER asking for a COVID test. So remind people, what is the message from hospitals and doctors about doing that and flooding those emergency rooms?
Right. Doctors knew that there would be a spike in COVID after the holidays. What they weren't prepared for was just how steep this spike has been. So they are reminding people that there are many resources on your state and local health departments on where to get tests. Take a listen here to one of the health experts that we talked to.
We were seeing almost 25 to 30% of community members with very little symptoms to no symptoms that was coming in and asking for a test. In the last week, we've stood up testing centers all throughout the state.
So go online, go to your local health department, and then starting on Wednesday, the Biden administration will also have a website where you can order your tests through the federal government.
Heidi, we're getting a lot more insight about the burnout that healthcare workers are experiencing now after 2 years of caring for sick and dying patients. What are you hearing about that, and how can people support frontline workers?
Well, look, they said all healthcare workers take an oath when they go in this field to take care of the sick, and that is what they are doing. But as this grinds on into the second year, things are different because vaccines are plentiful, and the personal choices of people who are really casting this as an issue about personal freedom are now gravely affecting other Americans. They're affecting medical staff. They're affecting other sick patients. Take a listen again to the doctor.
I think it gets very hard when they are, putting it all out on the line every single day and, providing community service and, working with the choices that are made by, some people in the community. It just gets very hard over time. And we've seen a lot that have just left healthcare. So, we're also facing some healthcare providers that are just making a decision to leave because it has just been too much physically, emotionally, and professionally.
And to be clear, 65 to 70% of the patients in these facilities at the University of Maryland are unvaccinated.
Heidi Presbella, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.